door and listen to people who oppose him, and I don't give everybody a fair shake,
including Kanye West, too.
Obama said billions of dollars. Donald Trump was in bed with the KKK in an unprecedented blitz for Hillary Clinton. Let's move on to renewed calls for the United States to pull billions of dollars in funding from the UN after the Obama administration allowed a controversial vote to go forward condemning Israeli settlement building. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer among the Democrats joining Republicans expressing outrage at Secretary Kerry's defense of that move, which broke with decades of tradition in which the U.S. defended our ally Israel from UN censure. And Texas Congressman Louis Gohmert urging Congress to retaliate.
I've got a bill that hopefully will be drafted by Friday anyway. That two things. One, we don't give a dime to the UN until they rescind that resolution. And people are saying, oh, they'll never do that. Fine. They don't need our help to be anti-Semitic. And then the other is to prevent even one dime, making it a crime to use any government money to recognize Palestine as an independent country or state.
Former presidential candidate Mike Huckabee also weighing in, saying the U.S. could make better use of its UN budget.
We ought to take that money that's going to the UN and make it available to veterans who have served under the U.S. flag and make sure they get the benefits they need. We are getting zero benefits. We're getting embarrassed by the actions of the UN. That's money that ought to be spent on American servicemen and servicewomen, and I hope Donald Trump makes it one of the first acts of his presidency.
David, 25% of the UN's total regular and peacekeeping budget. We fund $3 billion annually. Is it time to pull it?
Sure, partly because we don't even know how much they actually spend, because they're getting money from all different sources. Claudia Rosette, who's the best UN watcher that I know, has tried to figure out how the UN budgets things. They can't. It's bad enough when you're trying to figure out how a government funds things, because government expense. But this is a collection of over 100 different governments, almost 200 governments together. It's totally out of control. I think we should move the headquarters from New York to Yemen. If we did that, suddenly you would find out their expenses would be cut in half.
Actually, I want to get to a tweet from Donald Trump about this very issue. The United Nations, this is what Trump tweeted, has such great potential, but right now it is just a club for people to get together, talk, and have a good time. So sad. That's actually being quite kind given the level of corruption that we've seen in the UN. Let's just look at the Oil for Food program, where the leadership at the UN essentially presided over a looting of this charitable program by Saddam Hussein, more than $1 billion.
Yeah, look what the UN has done dishonestly with climate change alone, and some of those laughable panels that rest on research instead of employing actual skepticism and science. I don't have a problem at all with pulling federal funding from the UN. I don't think we need to be investing in this one world government nonsense. I really don't. I don't think it's in our best interest. And Mike Huckabee talks about taking money from the UN and giving it to veterans. Why not take money from the F-35 program and give it to veterans? I don't have